Joined by GCU coach Stankiewicz. First up is Shotgun Spratling.
Hey, Andy, how would you describe the Arizona lineup that you guys had to face tonight?
They just keep coming. They just 1 through 9. They just very balanced, and they do a really good job of staying their legs, using the whole field. And we knew it. We knew that they were a very, very offensive ball club, and we've seen it. And they keep coming, and you got to make pitches, you got to make plays, and if you don't, you're gonna find yourself in a tough spot. And obviously that's what happened here this evening.
How unique is it to face a lineup where 1 through 9, it just doesn't feel like there's ever a chance to breathe?
Well, you just know that you got to keep making pitches. You just know that it doesn't stop. And if you're not well on the mound, if you're not throwing, where you want to, if you're not hitting your spots and making pitches and keeping them off balance, you're gonna run into some tough ABs, and that's exactly what happened. We just couldn't make some pitches when we needed to, and when we didn't, they took advantage of it, and they hit the ball pretty good, obviously.
Next up, Michael Lev.
If you were to pinpoint one turning point in the game, what do you think it was?
Well, I think when we kind of fought our way back into it, and we felt like, okay, maybe, we're kind of making a run here, and then in the bottom of the 8th, when we just couldn't get it out, we felt like we got some momentum back, and we felt like, okay, here we go, we're within 1, and then we just didn't take care of the ball. We didn't pitch as well. They got some ball 4s, and we knew that. I mean, you can't give this team those opportunities, and it just it swung back quickly back in their favor, and it was tough. I think we had a couple instances. We had first and third no outs when we were up. I think it was the 4th or 5th where we got a fly ball in the infield, and we got a double play. That was a tough one, because that's that you have to keep scoring runs against these guys. You can't just say we're settled for 4, and that one was like kind of a tough one to swallow, because again, that they still got 9 innings to hit, or whatever it was, 5 more innings, and so I thought we missed out some opportunities, at least to kind of stretch it and keep moving, and we kind of went away in the middle offensively until they pitched well, and they held us down, and then we just couldn't stop them.
How would you describe the atmosphere in the stadium tonight? There were over 5,000 fans total, and you had a pretty large cheering section over near your dugout as well.
Yeah, it was exciting. I think we gave something to cheer about early and not so much late. And so, but we kind of expected it. Obviously, it's their hometown. They're the host, and so you knew they were going to draw well. And we're thankful that our fans and family came down from Phoenix. I know that we rented some buses. The school brought some folks down here. So, it's cool. I wish we could have given them a little bit more to cheer about there in the end. But nonetheless, we're faithful. We got great support from so many people, and so it's kind of cool that I didn't realize there was that many people. So that's pretty nice.
Any other questions for Coach Stankiewicz? Ari Koslow, go ahead.
Up next for you guys is Oklahoma State. Do you have any thoughts on that game coming up tomorrow?
Well, they're big and they're physical. I'm not sure. We faced them early in the year, and we had a couple good ball games at their place, so we're familiar with them. They kind of sit back, and they're strong, and they got some strong young men in their lineup. So we've got to keep the ball down. We got to keep them off balance, and again, we got to play good defense. Can't give them any freebies. I'm not sure who we'll face, but I know there's a lefty that we've faced in the past. It's a pretty good pitcher, so I would suspect it would be him. But we just got to come out. Tomorrow's obviously it's do or die, right? It's hey, man. Who doesn't want to go home? I know I don't. I know our players don't. And so tomorrow we just got to inning 1 to inning 9. We got to play with some great focus and intensity. They're a great ball club. Obviously, they got great history. And so it's not going to be easy. but that's what this is about. There's 64 teams that came in this tournament, and we're one of them. And so we obviously want to stick around.
Bob Romantic, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, you used quite a few pitchers today. Do you have a sense of who will be starting tomorrow and how you're set up from a pitching staff?
Well, we're not really sure. I'll sit down with our pitching coach Winty, and we'll talk about the guys that we might think about. Connor Markle could be a guy that started for us in some midweeks. Dawson McCarville obviously has been a weekend starter as well. And so, we'll kind of take a look at that and see what makes sense. What we think is going to be the best matchup for their lineup. Obviously, I think they got some nice lefties in their lineup, so we'll take a look at that. But Bob, at this point, it doesn't really matter. I mean, I'm not too worried about we got to just win tomorrow. And so if it means bringing Nick Holt back and Vince Riley back and whatever it means we got to do, we'll do. I'm not too concerned about anything other than trying to figure out how to get a win tomorrow.
And we'll finish up with Shotgun Spratling.
Andy, what did you think of Pearson overall? He's been so good for you this season. What wasn't working for him today in the same way?
Yeah, Shotgun, good question. I think he just wasn't as sharp. His breaking ball wasn't as crisp. Typically, it's got a little bit more bite to it. Again, you leave a ball up against this ball club, and you're gonna get hit. And I think he just didn't seem like he was. I thought his fastball was good. I wish, in retrospect, I wish he would have kind of went out from that standpoint a little bit more. But again, it just wasn't as crisp. I don't think his fastball was. I thought it had some velo, but he was staying in the middle of the plate. And talked to David Vitia, said he just kind of leaving the ball out over the middle more than usual. But hey, this kid's been incredible all year long. He's been our guy. You hate to take him out of this game, but we just felt like at that point Nick Holt was gonna be able to kind of bring some velo, maybe a little bit more, and their big left fielder, hit 2-run homer. That hurt. That may have been a turning point as well. Thinking we were going to bring Nick in and kind of shut the door, and we weren't able to. So, but Pearson's been our guy, and so and obviously I know he wanted to keep the baseball, but we just felt like, hey, it was time to make a move.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, thank you guys.
Now joined by GCU's Johnny Weaver. If you have questions for Johnny, please raise your hands. Michael Lev, go ahead.
Hey there, Johnny. Your coach just said that even though you guys had 4 runs early, you kind of knew that might not be enough and that you have to keep scoring against this Arizona team. Was that the mentality that the lineup tried to have?
Yeah, I mean, we came out with a great start. That was something we were trying to do, but we know going in, this is one of the best offensive teams in the country. So, it was tough having those 5-0s after putting up the 4. It was definitely tough. I think later on we just need to realize not to get so emotional and just kind of stay even keel and be able to push more runs across in those middle innings.
Was there a certain point in the game where you felt like the momentum had shifted from your dugout over to theirs?
I mean, it was back and forth. I don't think the score is very indicative of how close this game was. Maybe a turning point might have been not be able to get a run in on first and third, but that's baseball, and we put ourselves in a really good spot in the late innings to make a push, and just wasn't able to pull it out.
Ari Koslow, go ahead.
What was the atmosphere like for you guys with fans from both teams? It was a record-breaking night at the field for a college baseball game. So what was that like for you and the whole team?
It was unbelievable. For us, making our first regional appearance is something pretty special. Obviously, playing here a couple times. I don't think we shied away from the big lights at all because just been some experience here. But it was definitely one of the best atmospheres I've ever been a part of, and it was really cool to play an in-state rival. and such a big game, and just have such a big showing was something really cool to be a part of.
Any more questions for Johnny? All right. Thank you, Johnny.
Appreciate it.